Between the pages of this journal, you find a key. Tied to it is a label which reads Master Bedroom Wardrobe. Ooh, intrigue. Oh, there's a secret fourth part. Nice. Gosh, this is a long journal. Okay. All right. Let me get started reading this journal. Now that Father is gone, they pester me to expand the mausoleum in readiness for my eventual passing. Next in line to die. Fine. I shall order the excavation. It is like turning over a rock and finding the twisting tunnels of an ant nest exposed to the sky, and yet here, the inhabitants do not scatter or erupt in a panic. They merely stood and stared, with those red pinpricks for eyes. I should explain. In expanding the mausoleum, the workers broke through into some ancient catacombs of the Dwemer. They were beneath our feet, beneath a castle, all this time. Perhaps it should not be too surprising. The Velothi tunnels are home to some Dwemer ruins also. It is all so strange, though. Where do I begin? I've read about Dwemer animunculi, all I could lay my hands on, as those were some of my favorites, but I have never seen any mention of what we found here. The workers called me down when they were about to breach the wall, and there we all stood, clustered around the hole. On the other side was our mirror image, a congregation of metal men staring back at us, with their glowing red eyes. I was afraid. We all were. But while the workers all fled the mausoleum, I remained, frozen in place. Expecting your imminent death is a significant shock, but an even greater surprise awaited me. A metal woman came forward and spoke. She spoke to me. At first, her words were unrecognizable. Was it the Dwemer language? Then she spoke in Cyrodiilic that was slow and halting. No harm, she said. I could manage no response. No harm, she said again, but this time to the metal men and women behind her. Now she stands here in the study with me, reading the books. I think she asked for them. I brought her here on the day of the breach, but I have forgotten what we spoke of. I said a lot in my panic, and she said very little. It all happened so quickly. Her brethren have all remained behind, down below, but she has not left the study. She's looking at me. Her name is Lamashtu. Her progress in learning Cyrodiilic is astonishing. She reads my books and listens to the conversation of the staff, and already I can converse with her easily. The servants are not glad to have this audience, though, that much is clear. They are plainly afraid of what we have uncovered, but it is just as plain to me that these metal men mean us, well, no harm, as Lamashtu said. Lamashtu has promised to show me Nirnderal, for that is the name of the Dwemer catacombs beneath us. Actually, she has said that we will have her, I suppose, brother, Lahar, show it to me. I think she wants to stay in the study. She says that she and her metal brethren are called the Gilded, but I am, as of yet, unsure what they are exactly. Apparently, they have always been beneath our feet and have never ventured out. They do resemble animunculi. That is all I can say. I realize more and more each day that the discovery of the Gilded is a monumental one, but Lamashtu has requested privacy. I'm not sure of her reasons, but I can certainly think of my own. Dwemer animunculi are known to be generally hostile and quite dangerous. I dread the thought of what might happen if some kind of military attention fell on them. The staff may spread tales. How can I stop them? But I have heard how they speak of this discovery. I doubt anyone will believe the particulars of their tales. They will be thought of as just that, tales. The resources to be found in Nirnderal are beyond my ability to count or really value. In particular, that wonderful metal, that famous Dwemer metal that confounds all who try to unlock the secrets of its fabrication. I did put the question to Lamashtu, but I am no smith or alchemist, is all she would say. She has answered many of my questions about the truly amazing machines down there, though. I can barely sleep. It feels like my mind is on fire with possibilities. Lahar is taking to his new job well, too. After showing me some of Nirnderal, he followed me back up to the castle. I did not mind. Even to begin with, he was almost as well-spoken as Lamashtu. I think she must have been teaching him, or perhaps he already knew. Much like Lamashtu had, Lahar began to follow the staff and observe their work, to their visible chagrin. Before long, he expressed an interest in taking up the role of a caretaker of the castle. Already he is invaluable. He is careful, quick, and most remarkably, does not appear to need or want for sleep. My studies of Nirndural's machines consume my attention, as do my plans regarding what I learned from them. I look to Lamashtu as representative of that domain and of her kind. Besides Lahar, who is agreeable if simple, she is the only one able, or perhaps willing, to speak with me. The others merely stare as I pass, and ignore my attempts at conversation. I asked her permission to salvage what scraps of metal could be found lying broken and useless in the halls of Nirndural for use in my own works. However impassive her manner, she did agree. This is tremendously exciting. The metal can be melted down and reshaped as I desire, and there is so much of it to be had. I go to work. The mausoleum has become a thoroughfare. Metal, warped scraps, and whole pieces both, is carted out of Nirndural and into the workroom by small groups of Gilded. There, the casting molds awake. Things are taking shape. Interesting. So Ludwig uncovered the Gilded when he was digging out the mausoleum, and Lamashtu was the only one able to communicate with him, and she and Lahar ended up living in the castle. That's interesting. That's like an interesting backstory of how they both ended up here. Alright, so okay. So it looks like there's... Yeah, so you might remember a few moments ago I found a key. What was it? Bed chambers key? Crap, what was it? I forgot what they called it. But I found a key in the last journal that I picked up. And I think it clearly goes to this bookshelf, especially since the quest marker is behind this wall. I'm guessing there's a secret door here. Yeah, okay. So before we go in there, though, let's get out journal number 3 and read that real quick just to fill in the backstory. Because I'm guessing the secret 4th journal is behind that wall. So here we go. This is journal number 3. The staff are all leaving. This has been building for some time. It's their fear of the Gilded. More and more of their number are effectively taking up residence in the castle as they help with my work. As with Lamashtu and Lahar, they also took to observing the staff in their daily tasks, never speaking, just watching. I think it all became too much. Perhaps it's for the best. I'm told that the company is not doing well. Less money is coming in. In truth, it's a relief. I never know what to say to them anyway, even to Annalise. She was always kind to me. She actually asked me to leave as well. That's not something I could do, though. Especially not now. I could have sworn that she looked disappointed. It would be nice to think of why that might be, but that can't be it. It must be my imagination. Still, it is sad to think that I will likely not see her again. In any case, Lamashtu is quick to point out that the staff are not even truly required any longer. Not with her brethren being here and able to take up the work. Today I offered to pay them all a wage for this work, but Lamashtu declined, saying that all they needed was something to occupy them. Lahar echoed this sentiment. I suppose I will have to take them at their word. None of their brethren will speak to me after all. Behold the common tap or spigot. The pipes of cast metal to ferry the water, the appropriated Dwemer pump, and the steam to make it go. Steam! Steam under pressure. It makes it all go. Now I have water at the turn of a tap, heated water even. That Dwemer boiler was perfect for the task. Today I have learned that Chlodovech Trading Company is no more. By all accounts, it was in a slow decline since the Red Year and Mother's death, but now it has finally happened. We all have our share of the remaining wealth, and it is not insubstantial. I do not have to worry for myself or my remaining family. Indeed, I have continued my jewelry business all this time, even overseeing some of the Gilded and creating additional pieces. Some things need to be arranged, but overall, this is nothing to fret over. Things here won't change. I can't abide first-time meetings. Can anyone? No one knows what to say to one another. Who are you? They would say. What is it that you do? By which, of course, they mean, please describe your quantifiable worth to society in a short sentence. Father's beautiful glass garden perched atop the castle never did function as he wanted. It would never hold the warmth the plants needed. It all leached out into the frigid mountain air, and the plants froze and died. Now that I can tap into that seemingly endless supply of pressurized steam produced by some unknown means deep in Nerdral, the glass garden is finally as warm and vaporous as I could ever want. An amazing discovery today, though I would not have known it if not for Lamashtu. In excavating a new room for the cellar, the workers struck what appears, by its carve, to be a great metal sphere, Dwemer metal, like everything down there, but unlike any other items of Dwemer manufacture I have seen yet. Lamashtu came to look at it, and it seems that she recognizes it. After some thought, she said that it had been called a machine for far walking without steps. A rough translation, I think. I am simply calling it the travel machine for now, as that is apparently what it is for, teleporting one to a far-off location and back again. She speaks of it as if of a barely remembered thing from one's childhood, but Lamashtu tells me that the machine is like a crossroads, with paths striking out in many directions from it. At the end of each road is a terminus machine, and this is where we would appear upon entering the travel machine here. Similarly, entering a terminus machine would bring one back here. I have asked for the workers to uncover the sphere in its entirety. This is very exciting. The travel machine is to be my own grand project. Quite early on, we found a kind of panel on its surface that could be removed. Behind it were etched a series of pictographs that Lamashtu aided me in deciphering. We have concluded that they give instruction in the assembly and operation of the machine. The work required is lengthy and arduous. It would be impossible were the Gilded not here to help me. A large chamber to house it must be dug out and supported with stonework. The machine itself has been buried in the dirt for who knows how long. Excavation continues, but it is painstaking. After that, it must be raised up, righted, and supported in place. It must be cleaned thoroughly inside and out, and broken pieces must be recast and replaced. It is to require an extraordinary amount of piping. There is a lot going unused down in Nerdral, but will it be enough? I expect this to take years, but it is the power of teleportation, and not just in the hands of powerful mages. It is hard to imagine what a boon it would have been to the Chlodovech company, had it not closed its doors. Work on the travel machine continues. In the meantime, I have been inspired by the idea of the travel machine to create my own structure that facilitates fast transportation of items across the castle. It relies on the principles of pneumatic pressure to propel items through pipes that have been laid beneath the floors and behind the walls. My first practical test was a pipe that ran between a terminal in the kitchen and one in my bedroom. It worked much as I expected, though the first attempts were messy. I shall expand this structure of pipes throughout the castle. It will be more disruptive than the gas lights were, as the pipes are much longer, but worth it in the end, I feel. A funny thing, also, I have heard that, rather than Chlodovech Castle, people have come to call my home Clockwork Castle, for all the machinery here. It's a fitting name, I think. I like it. I am frustrated by the interminable work required by the travel machine. So much work, and yet so little to occupy my time. I simply lack the strength of the Gilded, and for now, there is nothing I can help with. To alleviate my boredom, I recently began work on a method for controlling the machine. It's something I've given a lot of thought to, how to inform the machine of where I want to go. I am sculpting what will become a cast metal relief map of Skyrim. Only Skyrim. Lamashtu assures me that it could not take me anywhere else. Once cast, I will affix mechanical buttons to it in the places on the map that the machine can take me. It shall be beautiful. I certainly had the time to make it so. Today, one of the Gilded workers struck me as we were working on the travel machine. He had been giving me odd looks all morning, so I had kept an eye on him in turn, and saw the blow coming in time to mostly evade him. He still caught me on the arm, and it knocked me to the floor, raising a nasty bruise. He stood above me, silent all the while, and for a moment I feared for my life. Fortunately, I then heard Lahar rounding the corner, and looked to him for help. But now it was Lahar looking at me oddly, sprawled on the floor, as the worker had already turned back to his task, as if nothing was amiss. Still, I had to tell Lahar what had happened. I hardly feel safe around the Gilded these days. He said a soft something to a worker that I didn't catch, and my assailant left for Nerdral without a word, later to be replaced by a different Gilded. I am thankful that the machine is nearly finished. It is like tuning a musical instrument. Fine adjustments until the right tone is struck, and the travel machine stirs to life, a bright blue portal shining in its heart. This is how we find where the thing can take us, which terminus machines out there yet function. I was reluctant to go through the shimmering portal. How could we truly know where it led, or even if one would arrive with both life and limbs intact? What if an unfriendly person awaited on the other side? Lahar did not seem to share my concerns, however, and strolled through the portal before I knew what he intended. He was gone so long that I thought him lost, and when he returned, he was caked in dirt, as if he had dug his way out of a grave. "I saw the banners of Whiterun," he said to me. "The caravan brings us mead from there." I marked down the tuning, and we moved to the next. Lahar went fearlessly into the portal again and again, though now I made him cover his metal body with what clothes would fit. He would be a strange sight indeed to anyone who might see him otherwise. Today I took my first steps outside Clockwork Castle in over a decade. How is it that so much time has passed? It was well outside the castle, too. The travel machine works. I stood outside the Markarth Clockwork Terminus for several minutes, watching crowds across the river entering and leaving the city. So many people. And that was enough for me. I returned to make this entry. There were long years in which I thought this day would never come, but now it's here. The machine works. Now there is no more need for the caravans to make the trip through the Velothi tunnels, delivering my supplies. Lahar has said that he will do it instead using the travel machine. This morning, I awoke to find that all the Gilded, except Lamashtu and Lahar, had left during the night. Lahar says they have all returned to Nirndaral. To be honest, I'm relieved. I was beginning to feel like a prisoner in my own home. I dared not enter a room if one of the workers was in there doing their chores. I don't know how to properly describe it, but for some time now they have exuded such a sense of menace that I feel in danger around them. Fortunately, Clockwork Castle has earned its name. With all the work I've done here, all the labor-saving machines, the workers are no longer needed. Lahar is more than enough. After all, there is no great entourage here to feed and clothe, no mothers, fathers, children, and dogs. There is just me. Only me. Dang, that is quite a story. I guess my biggest question is, what actually happened to Ludwig? We're probably going to find out in the fourth part of his journals, but yeah, that's pretty crazy, spending so much of your life working on a singular project. And then, when you're done with it, like, what do you do after that? So, anyway, let's head inside. Let's get behind this panel and see what's going on. Ooh. What have we got here? Oh my gosh, no. No way. Is that... Oh, geez. Oh, no. Oh, no. That is... Oh, that's so scary and sad. He rotted back here? Holy crap. Dude, that is so sad. How long has he been back here? Good gracious. Also, this is a very minor thing, but I think I have a disease that I could use one of these potions for. So I'm very, very sad, obviously, for you, Ludwig. May you rest in peace. I am going to use one of these cure disease potions, though. Okay, let's see what the heck happened to him. Let's read this journal. Oh, I got a smithing level up. Awesome. Thanks. Thanks, Ludwig's journal. Oh, dang. Okay. Okay, so this one's not as long as the others. So, cool. An awful realization has been in my thoughts lately. Or rather than a realization, a question. If I were to die, say of some accident in the workroom, how long would it be until I was found? The answer, I think, is that the longer I stay here, out of the world, the more any knowledge or memories of me will fade from those out there, and the longer it would be until I was found, tending towards infinity. It's almost mathematical. It occurs to me that I am so accustomed to the useful machines in Clockwork Castle that I can scarcely imagine life without them, and yet, do devices like these exist anywhere else? They could improve the lives of others, too, but would anyone accept them? What real use would these contraptions be, they would ask, or how could we possibly afford to build such extravagances? And yet I spend all my days in the workroom, crafting machines and objects of utility and beauty. Perhaps one day, when I've done enough, when I'm finished, I can show it all to someone. I cannot remember the last time I actually spoke aloud. Once there was so much to say, so much to learn from Lamashtu, and so much to organize with Lahar. Now, though everything is settled, every moment runs into the next with the precision and predictability of a perfect machine. Every day is exactly the same. There is nothing more to say. When was the last time I spoke to someone from outside the castle? Someone not made of metal? It must have been around when the travel machine was completed. Has it really been that long? I don't know that I could raise my voice anymore, not even to save my life. I don't want to be heard. They're warm to the touch, aren't they? Am I not warm? Lamashtu, Lahar, the lady in the walls? They are all so cold. Clocks driven by soul gems, marking time for an eternity. Are they aware? What do they see with no eyes? What do they feel with no skin? Does the mind require other minds to inform its thoughts? Do they otherwise reflect back uselessly and endlessly unchanged, an echo chamber? But I say nothing. Could I still speak? I dare not speak. I do nothing but sit here in this chamber, the cobwebs growing about me, the dust staining my skin. I could not bear their eyes upon me, and the weight of the judgment behind those eyes would be too much as well. I think I shall simply stay here instead. There is a feeling rising in me that my time here is growing short. It is obvious to me that I should note down my last will, but then there is no one to give it all to, and I have nothing to offer in any case. Who would want what I have? I don't want to reflect on my life. It was no good, really. It's no good. Surely, though, it was better than nothing. Wow, that is such a sad story. That's such a depressing way to I guess live out the end of your life, you know? Feeling isolated and kind of scared in your own home and feeling like your life amounted to nothing. That's no way to go. So sad. Ah! Good grief. Are you feeling better, Lamashtu?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Might ask you the same thing. Have you recovered? Something was wrong earlier.
I don't know what you are talking about.
Of course you don't.
What are you doing in there?
I found a corpse.
That must be Ludwig. He used to live here with us. I had not spoken to him for a long time. I suppose he must have died in there.
How did this happen, though? Why is he still in there?
I forgot about death. It was a long time ago for me.
Okay, you forgot.
I am nearly 4,000 years old. For me, time is difficult. Men and Mer are victims of time, whereas I turn for a moment to ponder, and when I turn back, you're all dead.
And Ludwig?
Towards the end, Ludwig shut himself away and would see no one. Items such as food and books were sent up using the pneumatic tube system. For a time, Lahar continued to deliver his food, and the food was eaten. I believe now that the vermin began to eat the food once Ludwig stopped.
So what now? His body's still in there.
Caretaking is Lahar's sole interest. You should ask him.
Wow, okay. Oh, that might have been Clockwork Castle's first.
Sometimes.
Yeah, just quit your rambling. Yeah, that might have been the first ever case of, hey, it ain't my job in the history of Clockwork Castle. That was phenomenal. She was literally like, that sounds like a you problem to me. You go ask the other guy to clean up the dead body. Even though I'm part of the reason he got so scared that he just hung out down there until he died. Okay, where is Lahar? Lahar! Where are you, friend? I want to talk to somebody who's not going to actively annoy and confuse me. Crap, where is he? Where is he? Wait. Okay. Well, I don't want to waste your time pattering around this mansion looking for Lahar. So, I guess it's time to go figure out how to get Lamashtu a new heart. And that means I have to go back into Nirndural. Yay! He said sarcastically. Some gatekeeper you are, Lahar, just leaving this gate wide open. That rabbit could have invaded the castle. In fact, I'm going to close both of these. Just to be safe. There we go. Our fortress is secure. Great. I really don't want to go back down into this place. Especially not after the horror stories I read about this place from Ludwig's journal. Is that ghost lady here? Oh, yeah. That was the other thing that definitely caught my attention in his journals. He mentioned the lady in the walls. So she's here. That scary ghost lady is just like here in the castle. And that is oh so creepy. I'm even getting chills right now, like wondering if she's watching me. And I know that's insane because this is a video game and I'm not really there, but this is quite immersive. I'm pretty impressed by it. Here we go. Hey, fellas. Aha! Idiots.
You can trust me.
Yeah! Gracious. How many times do I have to kill you guys? Can I at least take your weapons away? I'm curious now. If I just take their weapons, will they try to punch me to death? Because that would actually be pretty funny. And, you know, obviously very ineffective. Oh, whoops, wrong. What? Okay, I'm not insane. You guys hear that too, right? Sounds like a creepy lullaby. Find the source of the music in Nirndural, Hall of Elements. Which is where I currently am, yeah? Okay. Well, I know what music I'm gonna hear in my nightmares. Okay, crap. I guess I just need to walk around and see if the music gets louder? It's the only thing I can think to do. Okay. Kind of sounds like it's getting louder. Yeah, okay, yeah. It's definitely getting louder. Oh man, considering the circumstances, that is like the creepiest thing I have ever heard. Now, you know, if I wasn't trying to track down a potential murder bot, sure that song would be quite pretty. Alright, here we go. Whee! Aha! Oh yeah, it's definitely coming from down here. Oh, wait. Hold up, is that the, crap, what was it called? The sickness ward. I didn't go in there. I think that's the one place I didn't really go into. Alright. Yep, that's definitely where the music is coming from. Fantastic.
You will learn that there is no voice.
I can't wait. I can't wait to go into what is probably, basically, a haunted A haunted hospital. A haunted, probably abandoned hospital. Ugh.
I saw you.
Ah.
I saw you in here earlier. You crawling over everything, repairing the pipes. Are you looking for me? Come to the sickness ward.
Oh boy. Well, this is going to be a fun conversation.